Hi everyone, I welcome you to yet another session of Expert Roundup, and today we have our amazing guest from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Dano. Dano has been into Amazon business and Amazon fraternity for quite long time. He is a digital marketer. He started his journey in 1996, in early 95, you can say, and he's amazing when it's come to Amazon and scaling businesses. He's a co-founder of DefDevice as well, which is a cool service which offer multiple Amazon related services. Hi Dano, how are you?
Good evening, Atif. What an honor to be here. It's quite a surprise. I almost missed
It's
the show,
pleasure
man.
having
I was a
you.
bit late, but yeah, we managed to catch up. Great to be here, man.
It's pleasure having you here. Like we have been hearing about Dano for quite long time. So Dano is here, and most of the people are familiar with him for his services that he offers and the book analysis he do on his Facebook profile every single day. He's sharing a book analysis and sharing so many other marketing cool strategies and tips and tricks. So Dano, welcome you to the stage. I welcome you on a stage here, and I would like you to share about your journey and what you do to like and share with the audience, those who want to listen here.
Yes, my pleasure. Well, I don't know where to start. It's been a long journey, actually. I'm born in Ukraine, actually. So I'm born in Ukraine, like in the '60s, and we migrated to Germany, and then in 2011. I came to Malaysia, so I had a few countries on my back already when I came here. And yeah, so started with online stuff in 1996. I think at the time when these modems came out, there's 14K modems where you dialed in into CompuServe and you didn't quite understand what this is about. So that's why I started with my web design journey. I had an agency in Munich between 2000 2005. From there, things slowly developed towards doing online business, building online businesses, and eventually I stumbled across Amazon, which I learned in 2014 that you can actually sell things on Amazon as a private person, as a third party seller. So that's when I started my journey. And I mean, it just makes sense to me because I had all this background from digital, from web design. And I thought, well, selling on Amazon in US, living in Malaysia, that's a cool thing to do, right? And yeah, so and it was the year 2014 where the Apple Watch came out. So, as all of us, we start clicking around like what product should we sell? And I came across, Apple Watch comes out and there was this first like Apple Watch stands, and I thought, wow, so why not? And I'm a big Apple fan. I've been using Apple computers, and I think as long as I do marketing. So I thought, cool, let's do an Apple Watch stand. And off we went. So I found my supplier in Shenzhen where I had this little aluminum Apple Watch stand, which was selling, I think, for $3. It was a humble beginning, but from there, you see what people like. So I started to expand towards having Apple Watch and iPhone stands, and then wireless charging stands came across. So I went into wireless charging, and I built my brand Alexery around wireless chargers, actually. Yeah, so that was my Amazon journey, and then 2019 I decided to sell my business, which was another very intense experience. So I went through all these loops of deciding actually to sell this thing which I've been spending all my waking hours for the past 5 years. And then I went, to the broker, to the marketplace. We found the deal, we finished the deal, and September 2019, I sold my business, which was a great pleasure, but also a bit sad because you're being separated from something which was with you like every single day of your life for the past 5 years. But I also saw the potential, what happens when you sell your business and how you suddenly have these resources available to start something new and to start at a different level. And at that time, I had gathered so much knowledge around Amazon, around stuff that happens online. So I felt like I want to share this knowledge. I want to apply this to other businesses. I want to run an agency again, which I'd done before. So my decision at that point was not to start the next Amazon business but to actually start providing services to Amazon sellers and also to other people who want to grow online.
So if I ask you, which is more fascinating to you, selling on Amazon or or helping Amazon sellers like as a service business, which is more appealing, which is more fascinating, selling on Amazon or selling on services?
At the moment, I enjoy being in the agency world. I mean, I'm not. It was both exciting at its time, and it was for that time it was the right thing for me to do to sell on Amazon. But at the moment, I kind of like this people experience. You know, I like to have more to do with like people with other business owners and learning so much about how other people run their business and what are the challenges and what kind of help they need. It's a different area of work other than ranking your products and pleasing your customers on Amazon, which is slightly more anonymous. So you don't really have this people contact unless you're dealing with your team. But at the moment, I'm kind of back in the people's game, so I'm much more interacting with people and other businesses, which I enjoy at this point in time.
Yeah. That's relatable. Actually, that's relatable. Apart from this, one thing that audience is quite happy. You are from Malaysia because our mentor Sisani Ali, who found this platform, he's from Malaysia, and they all, everyone wants to go Malaysia, right?
Yeah,
Because they have heard so much about Malaysia. So,
yeah.
what's the decision? Actually, we were discussing this backstage, and few days back, Danny Carlson, Kenji Ori, he was with me on podcast, and he's from
Mm,
Canada, living in
yeah,
Indonesia. So
yeah.
I was having the similar kind of discussion with him as well. Like, so what's the main thing while moving from Germany to Malaysia? So what are the perks here? Like moving from an expensive place where cost of living is expensive, houses are expensive, everything is expensive, and moving to a place where things are relatively way cheaper than Malaysia,
Mm.
than Germany. So, for an entrepreneur, is this something which can be a good thing from moving to an expensive place to a cheaper place where quality of life does not compromise?
Oh boy, yeah, you opened Pandora's box here because if you get me started about Malaysia, I could talk for hours, but I'll try to keep it short. Um, yes, price is one. Like cost of living is definitely a big thing. If you compare Germany and Malaysia, just if you look at the rental market, so living in Munich, what you get for your money in terms of apartment and rental space is just sad compared to what I can have here in Malaysia. And it's not just about the price; it's about the choice. If you need a new house in Munich, you are in trouble because there are no such thing. They're not available. Here in Kuala Lumpur, I can rent another unit like every day. So there's so much more supply. But the main thing for me was not the cost of living. It was a motivator, but the main thing is I think the sense of freedom, the sense of uh, just being, having just much more freedom in my daily life. I felt very restricted in Munich, in Germany. And I feel like here everything is much more easygoing and there's much more sense of I can just do my thing and people just leave me alone as long as I don't hurt anyone. And the weather is great. I can ride my bike every day. So overall, it's more about freedom. To me, Germany is all about safety. And for those who are big fans of safety, it's a good place to be. But I'm not a safety guy. I'm a freedom guy. So for me, Malaysia is a better fit.
So probably my screen is stuck, and so I don't know how come it
Yeah,
gets stuck. Probably yeah. So it will be
yeah, yeah,
it probably will get fine. Yeah, it will get fine. So but I can hear you properly, and people can see you and me both.
yeah.
So like you are a bike guy. So this is cool. Like Malaysia is great because I used to live in Malaysia, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
enjoy every single day that I spend there, and I really miss it. For like I
yeah.
just want to move back. Honestly, if you ask me. So the place is
I'm looking
amazing.
forward to that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so, coming back to our discussion when it's come to Amazon, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. But your
Perfect.
screen is frozen, but I can hear you
So,
clearly.
yeah, so once you start with the slide, I try to fix this from my
All
part.
right, all right.
So, Dano, like you have so many things when it's come to Amazon. You help people, you help businesses in building their e-commerce strategy. in getting traffic outside from Amazon, in helping them how to how to be a brand, right? How to set up a full-fledged, full-stack brand on Amazon or on different places. So you are a marketing geek. You have been into this marketing business since like past 25 years or more. So like we want to listen from your perspective. What should be the right strategy to set up brands to so there are two things: either you can sell products, either you can create brands. So what is the influence of creating a brand? How important brand building should be, and what should be the key element and key concept while someone is building a brand?
That's a very good question, because I tend to get this question like, Dana, what should I sell on Amazon, or what should I sell online? I want to start like e-commerce. What should I sell? And I ask these people, I tell them this is the wrong question. We should not ask what, we should ask who we want to sell to. What is the community we want to engage with? Who are the people we can serve? Who are the people we can genuinely connect with? What is the kind of community we can build? And that is all in the space of building a brand, and it's very much different from just picking some product that seems to be selling well right now and then hope for it to sell for the next few years, because the only thing we have right now, we have this little advantage of maybe having a good supplier, or maybe getting a good deal, or maybe being somehow in a niche market which is not crowded. But it's a matter of time until other people will catch up and they will like sell it for cheaper than we do, and that's where our business ends. Building a brand, on the other side, is actually engaging with people, is creating a connection which goes beyond having the cheapest product. The cheapest product is a rat race to the bottom, because, as I said, there will always be another guy who can sell cheaper than you. But if you build a connection with the community, then you have something that nobody can simply, like underbid. If you build people who trust you, who like your story, who like what you stand for, especially if they have bought from you before, then you have something which can grow and which is like a real business asset. And that's so much more than just having a product which just happens to sell right now. So that's why I'm a big fan, and I'm promoter of the brand approach. And whenever somebody wants to start to sell online, I always tell them to first look for the people, look for the who. Look for those who you can connect with, who you can build the connection, who you can deliver value, who maybe can resonate with your personality, with your story, with your knowledge. And that's a much safer and much stronger basis to build a business. So that's why I'm a brand ambassador, so to say.
Yeah, you're famous for building up brands actually and helping sellers who wants to create a full stack brand. So my screen got I don't know, it's how it come
Yeah,
to a position. It is stuck.
yeah, someone. Yeah.
I think my Mac is having a bad day. So I
Mm,
don't know. This is for the very first time, and I try to open my FaceTime, and the screen is coming black. I don't know how
yeah.
come. Like after the
Right.
session, I have to check. So, Dano, you have shared a cool story about this is how it should be while someone is thinking of building a brand, right? So, a person should start with the brand building approach from day one. This is the same. This is something similar which Kevin has said last night. You
Oh,
should start selling and then you can create brand, right? But you should have this from day one that you need to create a brand if you really want to dig into business. If you really want to achieve something, then building a brand is one thing. So as we all know, you are Manychat official agency partner, right? So you
yeah.
have a amazing grip when it's come to Manychat, chatbots, ranking flows, building a ranking flows, building so many things out of Manychat because you are an official agency partner with Manychat. So when did you start with Manychat agency, chatbot marketing, and how do you see is it a future? Is Manychat something or chatbot marketing, messenger marketing something that can goes to future, or is it the end of market messenger marketing these days? Because as an Amazon seller, we have faced that Facebook ads have become expensive, messenger flows, you are getting a creepy audience when it's come to running launching campaigns, ranking
Mm.
campaigns. So what's your thought on this?
Yeah, Manychat, well, Messenger is owned by Facebook, and they tend to have to implement funny rules. which they think serve their audience. Some of them are based on so-called AI, like artificial intelligence, but from my experience, sometimes it's also into artificial stupidity. I call it IS. And yes, this doesn't really go in our favor if we deal with Manychat and with Messenger. But at the same time, I think it's still a valid channel. Messenger is still a valid channel for anyone who is running stuff on social media and who wants direct response from people who actually message their Facebook page and want to engage with them. So I would not discard it, but it's like every platform where there is like one gatekeeper who can just change the rule anytime, which is Amazon, by the way, as well. And I have experienced the pains of just being shut down and by someone just like doing like this. So it's the same with Facebook. We have to be careful. We cannot put all our eggs into the Facebook basket, but at the same time, I would still keep it active. I would still have it as an asset without relying on it too much.
Yeah, so this is perfect. Actually, this is perfect. So Daniel, you have like a deck to share with audience when it's come to driving traffic or like building a brand outside Amazon. So would you like to share the deck and share an amazing slides which you have prepared for the audience here on platform right now?
We can do that. I have quite a few presentations, and so right now I'm a big fan of my Ecom plan.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of riding this Ecom plan horse right now, which I call the e-commerce strategy, and I think it's really relevant to almost everyone who is doing business online. It's relevant for Amazon sellers in the sense that if you planning to grow your business as a whole, I personally would not rely on Amazon alone because Amazon customers are not your customers. You don't get their email addresses. They're not really your customers. So I always, when I was building my brand, I always was pushing to build it outside of Amazon as well. So having my ecom store, having my social media presence, my brand page and all that. And having some things going on and building an audience which I can control, because at the end of the day, my email list or our email list is the only asset we really can control. Everything else belongs to someone else. I mean, it's Google, it's Facebook, it's Amazon. They own the platform. They make the rules. They can kick us out anytime. The only thing nobody can take from us is our email list. So this is one thing that I always was kind of aware of and I want to build. So the presentation I prepared for today is called Ecom Plan, and it's about giving you like a bird's eye view, giving you like a structure of what are the ingredients of e-commerce. What are the main parts that needs to happen for e-commerce to function, and especially if you want to build it outside of Amazon, and also if you're planning to sell your Amazon business, for example, and to improve the value of your Amazon business, that could be a very interesting strategy to use. So let me show you my
that's a great strategy that you have shared. That's a great ecom plan that you have shared.
Thank you, man. What's going on with your video?
I don't know. I think I do have a latest version of Mac, which is Big Sur, and I think so. This is something which happened quite few days back as well. So I can hear you properly. I can see your video. Everything is running perfectly fine, but the camera got stuck. I don't know how. I think I just have to.
Never
I
mind.
don't know how.
I mean,
how
but you got stuck on a very nice freeze frame. You're smiling so nicely. So the frame it got stuck on is actually a very
that's
good
amazing,
one.
actually.
So that's not too bad. Yeah.
So let me do one thing here. I think so we are good with it, right?
Yeah.
So this is a
Quick
crazy
question.
plan that you have prepared. Oh my God, this looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, this is just like a structure. I call it the Ecom plan, and it's visual, so we can see what's happening. Just quick question: can we take questions from
Yeah, for
our
sure, for
viewers,
sure.
or because I'm not? But you can. I mean, you will be in charge
For
of. You will
sure,
see when
for
questions
sure.
are coming in, right? Because I'll be
Yeah, for
happy to
sure.
answer any questions. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. So let's slide through it. It's a 10-minute presentation. My Ecom plan. It's an e-commerce strategy for online success. So, yeah, who's talking? We covered that one before. Strategy. Why does strategy matter? Implementing an effective strategy and constantly working on improvements make all the difference long term. So, especially in times of change, in times of crisis, we don't have to name the C word here, right? Pandemic, whatever it is. When something changes in the marketplace, we have to adapt. We have to adapt our strategy to what's going on. And when we manage to do that, I believe that we are on this green trajectory. So this model shows what happens to businesses typically over time. If we manage to adapt to what's going on in the marketplace, and I call this strategy, we can be on this 25% growth line and continue to thrive and take opportunity out of crisis. If we don't adapt to changes, we will probably end up on this red line of businesses who will close down. And as we can see, this gap widens over time. So it's just to make the point that strategy is really important, and it can make or break your business. And it gets worse or better over time, whether you have the right or the wrong strategy. So the idea behind the Ecom plan is to provide you with a map of all the relevant elements and interconnections for online success. And this is for Amazon sellers who want to expand their business beyond Amazon and benefit from better selling price by doing so, and also for businesses who want to improve online sales. So why visual? A visual model is more suitable to describe complex structures. So it's easier to get the big picture. It's easier to understand the customer journey if we have a visual model like this one here. It's easier to share with others if we're working with a team, with suppliers, or with resource partners. It's much easier to talk about a strategy which is mapped out visually rather than something which is in a Word document. So we can identify missing parts and we can implement improvements. So the 4 pillars. This strategy has a basis. And the basis of it is to enable the 4 essential elements of online business. I like to compare them with the 4 tires of a car. All 4 tires of a car needs to have good pressure. They have to be in good shape. Otherwise, the car is not going to go very far. And it's similar to these 4 pillars in e-commerce. So I call them traffic, because we need people to see our offer. Then we need conversion, because just showing them the offer is not enough. They also have to buy what they see. We need retargeting, because people don't buy at first sight online, especially not on e-com stores. They tend to click around, they tend to go here, go there, and check different offers. And retargeting allows them to bring them back to our store and create this amount of critical touch points before they actually make a purchase. And then, as we mentioned earlier, surprise, surprise, we have branding. So branding makes everything else easier. Branding takes us out of this rat race to the bottom, competing over price and just waiting for the next guy to sell for cheaper. Branding allows us to connect with our audience, to build an audience, to build a fan base, which is then our asset and which we can sell to again and again. And it's more fun, by the way. So this is how it unfolds. The traffic can come from our brand page. like we have a page where we just explain, which is just about our brand. We're not selling anything. Our brand page is where that is a page that tells a story. It provides, it has blogs, it has information, it creates interaction with our clients and prospects. Obviously, social media is one source of, yeah.
Yeah, then I just want to
Yeah.
ask how important this, for example, when it's come to traffic, the four pillars, when it's come to traffic, how important this traffic module has. Like, if I'm going to launch a product today, then when should I start with a traffic plan, right? When should I start getting a traffic plan? Should I start with the day I'm going to launch, or should it like before 1 month or 2 month or 3 month to build an engagement around the brand?
Well, the traffic itself is obviously the lifeblood of any online business. So without traffic, nothing is going to happen. So if we cannot provide traffic, like on Amazon, the most obvious source of traffic is PPC, right? So when we come to Amazon, when we launch our first product, the first thing we can do, and which is easy to do, is PPC. So we need traffic. If nobody sees our offer, nobody can buy it. So that's obviously number one. So I would not wait for anything as long as my listing is ready or my store is ready. I need traffic right away. But what happens with the traffic then, that will depend on conversion. So I can have all the traffic in the world, but if my offer is not engaging, if it's not interesting, if it doesn't solve the problem of those people who come to my listing, it's not going to convert. So that's why conversion is just as important as traffic, because traffic, yes, nothing happens without traffic, but at the same time, nothing happens without conversion. So for conversion, we need, I'm talking now mostly about like an Ecom store, like Shopify, WooCommerce, you name it, something you sell outside of Amazon. On Amazon, of course, we have a modern and mobile-friendly website. It's not so self-evident when we do this ourselves. So it needs to be modern, fast loading, mobile-friendly. We need testimonials. We need professional images, videos, descriptions. So we need all these trust instilling elements, which I mentioned in a video from the other day. Trust, I think, is the biggest challenge for anyone selling online, to generate enough trust with our audience to actually click the button and pull out their wallet and say, okay, I'm gonna deal with this person. I believe that he can deliver what I need and he can solve my problem. And conversion is all about getting over this threshold of I trust you. I believe you can deliver. I believe you do as you say. I believe you're real. You're not a scammer. It's about getting people across this threshold of trust as opposed to not getting them across it. And if people don't trust us enough, they will not buy. So conversion is all about generating trust. Retargeting is about getting people to come back. Because as I mentioned earlier, nobody buys online at first sight. I mean, if we in the physical world, if we get in the car, we travel to a hardware store, we find the water tap we were looking for, it's right there in front of us, we will buy this thing because it solves our problem. We will not just get in the car and go to 20 other stores and check out, if their water tap is better or not. Online is very different. Online, I can visit 20 websites in 10 minutes. So it's people are jumping around, and studies say it's like 20 to 30 touch points shoppers have before they decide to make a purchase. So if we don't have a system to bring people back to our page gently, by targeting them with ads and by pixeling them on our brand page, on our shop, it's going to be very hard to create this amount of touch points that we need to create the purchase. That's why retargeting is another essential element of this Ecom plan. And then branding, which we already covered it quite much in detail earlier, is the one that makes everything else easier. So branding makes it easier for us to get traffic. When we have branding, we already have a following, people already coming to our page. We probably rank already on Google. We already have a CRM. We have a customer database. So it makes easier to convert, because when we have proper branding, people know us, people trust us. So conversion is not an issue anymore. And retargeting, well, yes, people come back. So branding kind of is the secret sauce to make everything else easier, and it kind of lubricates the entire online engine for us. And this is what it looks like if we kind of build it out for a client, okay? So if we build it out, it will have all these elements. This is kind of the view under the hood. If you open, your motor hood of your car, then you will see all these funky things, all these wires and all these parts there. So this is what it looks like when we kind of spell out this Ecom plan for a client. So we will have in the middle here, we have our store, right? So this is where conversion happens. And then we have an upsell, we have the purchase here. On the bottom part here, we have our CRM. This is where this is kind of the lifeblood of our brand, where we keep the leads and email addresses and phone numbers of our customers. Then we have the brand page here. This is where we create this connection, where we post relevant content. We have our social media department on the upper left side here. And we have the traffic sources on the top here: Instagram, Google Ads, Google Organic, retargeting for Facebook and Facebook paid leads. We also have a little Amazon section here. So if we sell mainly on Amazon, of course, we are familiar with this option to have an insert in your product and to offer something special to your customers, so they will actually come, sign up, leave their email address. So you suddenly now have their leads, and now you can put them into your CRM system here, and they actually become your customers. So if we kind of dissect this plan, the traffic part will be like this. So these will be all the traffic sources that can bring traffic to our store. We have the brand page, it brings traffic. Our social media elements, our social media presence brings traffic. Then we have Instagram, Google Organic Search brings traffic, retargeting ads. And then at the bottom part, very important, we have our CRM. This is also a very vital traffic source for our e-com business, because as soon as we have a few hundred, a few thousand, or even a few 10,000 customers in our CRM, it's very easy to bring 1,000 visitors to our listing by simply sending them a message, by simply sending a promotion or something that will entice them to come back to our store. So our CRM can become a very relevant traffic source as well. Conversion obviously happens in our store. So conversion is all about what we do in our store, how we present our product, how we make it obvious that we can solve a problem, and how we can instill trust in the way we present ourselves and the way we deal with our visitors. So at no point in time they will have this doubt, like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. A nice example is like not secure. I mean, I still come across so many websites which have in the URL, right next to the URL, it says not secure because there's no SSL certificate. I mean, this is just a no-go. We cannot have glitches like that happen in our online presence. Then we have retargeting. So this is how we bring people back. So when somebody visited our brand page or our store, we will have these pixel, the Facebook pixel, the Google pixel installed, so we can run ads to those people on Facebook and on Google, and to target specifically those people who have visited our page or our store and who have left without buying, so we can bring them back and say, hey, you have looked at this and that. This is another benefit that you can get by, buying our product, and so forth. So this is the retargeting circle. And of course, the CRM itself is also a huge source of retargeting, because that's how we bring people back to our store. And then we have branding. And yes, there is overlap. So of course, our CRM is an important branding source. So in our CRM, we create all the messages. We bring the value to people. We tell them things which are beyond just, buy my stuff. We tell them information they might need in order to solve their problem on different levels. We can entertain them with a quiz. I really love doing quizzes because they're such a nice way to ask questions, to create engagement, to create curiosity, to have a fun learning experience. And I think a quiz is a great way for branding to simply show people, hey, this is not about buying my stuff. This is about playing, having a playful experience, learning something. And of course, all these can happen on our Facebook page and our Facebook group. So these are all places where we can talk to our clients. We can tell our story, and where we can connect on a way that is way beyond just my product and buy my stuff.
So you just with this, the gamification, the quizzes, this just help people to get more engaged with the brand, with
Oh
Facebook
yeah.
page groups. So it's a cool way to do gamification by putting quiz, by putting fun games, and honestly, this is how people connect, like engaging. It's just about to
Yeah.
create engagement.
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's all about connection. It's connection where it overcomes the trust issue. Which is one of the biggest hurdles. It overcomes this, like, oh, is this, will this guy deliver? What if the product breaks? Will this seller actually hold up and deliver the support and give me the replacement? So it's all about this connection that overcomes so many problems selling online. Yeah, and this is already my last slide. So if you want to know more about this Ecom plan, you can just look it up online under devdevice.com/Ecom plan. And I built, guess what, a little quiz. Surprise, surprise. There's a little quiz for you, so you can take this quiz, and it asks, I think, 36 questions about all these elements I showed you before.
Yeah.
So you can simply check, and you can find out in 5 minutes, like, if you are selling on an Ecom store somewhere. All these 36 questions will have something relevant, and you can check, do I have this or not? And it might be like a nice little checklist for you to see if this, what is missing in your Ecom structure. And if you want to get in touch with me, simply email me at dano@devdevice.com and
So
my
I'm back.
website.
Back.
Hallelujah. Oh, I can see you
Finally.
moving again. Okay.
Finally.
Nice.
Finally, I'm moving again.
Cool.
So I think this probably this M1. So I have a device with M1, and probably there are some glitches right now. So that's just trying to fix it. Like, probably Apple will do it.
No worries. We
Okay, so
still made it.
Yeah, we still made it, right? Yeah, we still made it. I was just stuck on a very good frame, so it does not look too bad.
You look very charming. I mean, you could just put that as your profile picture on Facebook, man. No problem.
For sure, I can give it a shot. So, Dano, the Ecom plan that you have shared, it covers 4 pillars, which are most important pillars when it's come to starting with an Amazon brand or with starting any other businesses, right? On e-commerce, online.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was a great plan, and you already love quizzes. So people here, they can go to your website and they can just type
And
Ecom
quiz
plan.
along.
Yeah, and then they can be a part of the quiz because you loved it, right? So that's pretty cool. And I just want to ask, right? Do you have any offer or any discount for Ecom, like for device services for our community members? Have you think of it?
Well, I haven't prepared anything, but I think I mean
we can discuss it, right?
Yeah. I'm always open for discussion, and I mean, my main service is actually strategy. So what I like to do is I like to look at this bird's eye view. I don't have this like, hey, you can buy Facebook ads. I can build your I can do all these things, but I find it wrong to start from these things. I think it's important to start with a strategy, with a plan. And even people come to me and say, hey, can you do can you run Facebook ads? for example, and say, yeah, I can, but is this what you really need? I mean, what do you actually want? I mean, if we see what is your actual structure, so some people, they run Facebook ads and they don't have a CRM, so they don't have a way to actually capture and entertain and nurture their leads. So I like to look at the big picture and see if you want to run Facebook ads, or if you want to do anything else, like if you posting library or a chatbot, it has to be part of a connected system, like the four tires of a car, you know. So if you want an engine, that's fine, but without the rest of the car, you're not going to go anywhere. So I'm just saying, I like to look at the big picture, the strategy first, and see if you want to get from here to there as a business owner, then what would be the best path for you? What is missing right now, and what needs to be implemented? So and yeah, this is the strategy session I do, and yes, I'm happy to negotiate with your members and your community to see what is the best deal we can do. We also do press releases. I think it's a cool thing.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you share a detail about press release, because it's a new buzzword, and we have seen we haven't seen so many posts or people talking about press release. So could you share some lights on what press release is and how influential it can be, what impact do it bring to a product or a business? So that would be great, actually.
I can tell you as a first-hand experience I had. I mean, I joined this press network, I don't know, like 7 years ago, like really long ago. I joined this network of where you can submit this press releases and you become like a member, so you have like access to this network. And I was always using it for myself and also like offering this service to other people. So what I did one time when I was launching a wireless charger, a dual wireless charger on Amazon. So what I always do, I would submit a press release about this new product. It had some quirky features which were quite unique, and it was picked up. This press release was picked up by a major magazine for Apple, like one of these platforms which have like 1 million users per day. So they saw my press release, they wrote an article about my product, and I didn't know this. So next day I see my sales went like up by 1000%. I was sold out in 3 days.
That's huge. That's huge.
It was insane. And I started Googling, like, what's going on? I had no idea. I mean, how can you, I mean, you sell 20 units one day and the next day you sell like 150. It's like, I couldn't believe it. So I figured out, okay, so there was this press release, this magazine, this major Apple platform picked it up. They wrote an article. They put the link. Of course, they do affiliate links. People saw this. People went and bought my product. So, I mean, of course, this doesn't happen all the time. But a press release is a very unique way to create buzz around a new product, which you otherwise cannot really match. Because with the press release network that we use, we have these articles will be published on 300 over news websites. I mean, these are small local websites. It's not CNN and ABC, of course, because CNN and ABC don't really care about product launches so much. But but these are reasonable news websites, and there's a lot of them. So with a press release, yes, it has to follow a very specific format. Most people don't know how to write a press release. You cannot use the word I, for example. It has to be very specific, neutral, third-party language. It has to be somehow news and event-driven. So you cannot just tell people about how great your product is. It has to be like, product X was launched by company so-and-so. Okay, so it has to be always this like event kind of thing, but there are many events. I mean, even if you have a new staff member, many things can be viewed as events. So you need something event relevant. You need something newsworthy, and then you can write a description. You can write like an experience of your product, like a third party assessment, and then you have a quote section where you can be personal, where you can actually like talk like the real owner or like a real person and have some personal language. You can include images, you can and then you can include a link. So you can include a link to your Amazon listing, to your web store and all that. And what normally happens, within 48 hours, Google will pick up the most relevant search terms in your title, and it will show up as in the news. Okay, so it will show up on the first page of Google as in the news. So there will be some exposure right there. And yeah, so you get a few hundred backlinks to your listing, which Amazon does appreciate. And you get some buzz, and you never know where it takes you. Sometimes people, like I told earlier, sometimes like even major outlets will pick it up and take it to the next level.
Yeah, and if your product has something new, something crazy, something different, innovative, then definitely it will give you more buzz, right?
Yeah. I mean, the more innovation, the more newsworthy your message is, the better, and the more like buzz you're gonna get, and the more spread it's gonna. I mean, if you have something like really substantial, yes, it could happen that ABC would cover the story. So everything is possible. But it's like knocking on heaven's door. You never know exactly. A lot of things can happen. If you simply spread the word and people just get the chance to see what you're doing.
Yeah. So we have a question from Gerard, and he asked, should we start investing in traffic or conversion before the business starts generating revenue, or do we wait and see how the product is doing and then start investing further?
So I guess you're talking about Amazon here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as I said earlier, everything is traffic and conversions is equally important. You cannot grow a business without both of them. So you need them both. So it's actually your choice what you want to focus on first, because eventually you need them both. So if you have a team, if you have money to spend on partners, on team members, on agencies who can help you, I would do that immediately. If you have to bootstrap and do everything yourself, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, you just do the one thing now and do the second thing later. Which one is first? It doesn't really make a difference, because you need both to be in place for your business to work. So as soon as you have traffic and conversion, that's the only time when you start to make serious sales.
Amazing. So we have another question from Johnson. So Johnson, yeah, you're reading it, right? How does your Manychat flow help you get reviews without even asking for it? And that's something that does not violate Amazon TOS. Yeah, we have heard something crazy about your Manychat bot.
Look at Johnson, huh? Hello, Johnson. Yeah, you are asking a very smart question here, Mr. Johnson. Thank you for that. Okay, so I mean, not many people will know on this call, I guess, but we do have a Manychat-based mystery shoppers club, which I developed for my own business back in the days, like I don't know, I think 4 years ago, when Manychat became a thing. So I thought, and I also, from a secret friend of ours, there was this mom branding club going on.
We are not supposed to name him here. We are not, so that's a secret. Right?
I know.
That's a secret, right? That's
a little secret between us.
Yeah, that's a little secret between us.
There was this concept, of engaging people to do mystery shopping on our Amazon products, and I think I liked the idea. So I created, and I knew about chatbots and how they started to become powerful and useful. So I created this thing where we had a chatbot-based mystery shoppers club. So people come from Facebook ads, they join our flow, and then they are presented with this mystery shoppers club where we say, hey, we want your feedback. So we work as a mystery shoppers club. We want your feedback on the products that we get provided from our partner brands. In exchange for your feedback, you get a full refund for your purchase. So what you have to do is you have to go to buy this product on Amazon. You have to send us our feedback. We never use the word review, because then we would be paying for reviews. We're not going to do that. So you send us our feedback into our chat, and then we send you your refund a week later or so. And that's it. End of story. So so this whole story does not violate Amazon TOS, because we are not paying them for reviews. We are not asking them for reviews. We're just asking them for feedback. And we are not breaching any rule here, because first of all, we are not the brand itself. I'm not the brand owner doing this. It's a third party. Okay, there's a third party Mystery Shoppers Club who's doing this as a service for themselves, and I'm paying them to do this service, but that's between me and the Mystery Shoppers Club. So what the Mystery Shoppers Club does is to simply give a refund in exchange for a feedback. Now, we have this psychological thing called reciprocity. I'm a German, so I still find it hard to spell it out. But I think it's reciprocity. So that's where we like to return a favor to someone who did a favor to us, right? So these people who have bought a product, they submitted the feedback, and they have gotten the full refund. They are happy people. That's number one. So we promised them something. They had this doubt, oh, this is a scam or what? But no, we actually kept our word. They bought the product. They invested the money. They were like in this phase of, oh, am I actually getting back my money or not? Then they submit the feedback, and then we send them the money. So they're happy campers. We even give them a bit more than we promised. So they're happy. So what happened in the meantime? They have already written the review, because our feedback, guess what? It does have a structure which is quite similar to an Amazon review. We do ask them for a rating from 1 to 5. We ask them to write a little summary. So they already kind of did all the homework. Now, 1 week later or two, Amazon sends them an email, says, hey, would you like to review this product? Because that's what Amazon does. Amazon asks all these customers to send a review. We don't have to do that, really. So then this customer says, well, I'm happy with the product. I had a good experience. I even got it for free. I have my review pre-written, so I might as well just go copy paste my review into my Amazon review, right? And this is why we get such a high review rate of around 20%, between 20 and 30%, honestly. This is our experience. So this is why we get this high review rate with our system without actually asking for a review.
Yeah, and our secret friend has so many things which needs to be kept secret here.
Yeah.
We have another question from Sahal, and he says, if you wanting to make a brand, so we starting from website, because through Amazon we don't connect with our customer directly. So I think his question is related to connecting with your customer, because Amazon does not allow it, right?
Yeah. Well, Amazon is not a good place for brands, and I think there's quite a few people in the seller space which agree with me that Amazon is not really the value of a brand does not really reflect on Amazon, because what we see on Amazon, we see title, first image, reviews, price. That's what we see. We don't really see the brand story. We don't see, what happens behind the doors. We don't have this connection to the seller. So all this is missing. So to answer your question, yes, we have to start with our website, with our social media. Website is not necessary. We can do this all on social media. If our product or of our following is suitable. I haven't heard of it being done on Clubhouse yet. But
Clubhouse could be a good. I am on Clubhouse every single day, running multiple clubs. I used to be a moderator with Paul and Kevin, Belisa, and all these guys on Paul, the room that Paul hosts every Wednesday night. Mountain time, 12 to 4, that's AMA with Paul. And I have seen on different clubs, I've seen people starting promoting their brands, right? But I think on Clubhouse, it's more on you can be a brand yourself, but I don't think, as of now, I haven't seen Clubhouse as a place where you can promote your brand, but you can be a brand yourself. That's for sure. That's something which is for sure. So Clubhouse is a good platform, right? You are on Clubhouse, right, Dano?
I am in Clubhouse, but I'm on Clubhouse, but I am a bit scared of it because I think it can be like a huge time suck.
Oh my God, it's addiction. It's an addiction.
yeah, you can, or just, yeah, because it's just talking all the time, and then, you know, you can just, but yeah, I mean, we are deviating slightly here, I think. But to answer your question from earlier, yes, you need a website, or you need a suitable platform which best suits your audience and your product and your niche. And I would start from there and do it, and you know, and just ask, who can I serve? You know, ask, who can I connect with, and how, what kind of experience can I bring to the table, and what kind of value can I bring to the table to connect with people? I think that's the magic bullet. And it's not easy, you know. Yeah, there's no shortcut. There's no like, oh, like, go find this one product and you're gonna make a killing. No, it takes time. It takes engagement. It takes interacting with people, which is maybe the reason why I'm doing agency work right now, because I've realized I really enjoy interacting with people, and it's maybe the most rewarding thing we can do in our business life, to enrich others people's lives. So yeah, brand building is part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Brand building is part of this. I completely agree. And it do require a whole lot of time to build a brand. It is not something that can be done under one day. You cannot be here
exactly.
like yeah. So it's a steep process, and it's a gradual change. Like, you will see gradual results every single day, but you just have to keep hard on it. So we have a question from Salman, and he asked, which is the best platform you found until now from which you love to bring traffic to your store? That's a cool one, right?
Yeah, you mean to your online store?
Yeah, to your online stores.
Yeah, if I had to choose one traffic source, I would choose my CRM, my customer relationship management, my email database. If I'm at that stage where I can rely on my customer base, that is the best. That's a luxurious position to be on, and that's completely cost-free traffic, by the way. Until that time, yeah, I mean, if it's a visually somehow attractive product, of course, Facebook and Instagram are great traffic sources. If it's more of a technical thing, if you know, Google can be a great traffic source when it's more of a technical solution, when it's not so visually appealing. But yeah, so far, I mean, the obvious ones, Facebook and Instagram, I think, are still a great source if you dial in your ads, and if you really spend the time, or you find the right partner to actually get your campaigns to work.
Perfect. So, Dano, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for sharing all the knowledge bombs and the document and the full stack, the deck that you have shared is amazing. The Ecom plan, and go and accessing and getting access to the quiz as well. So I do have this format in which what we will do, like the guests that we have, we request them to share one or two tips or trick related to Amazon or to their business specifically, which they don't share on any mastermind or any event or any podcast. So would you like to share one thing that you think this is the secret, right? This is one of the most coolest thing tips or tricks that I know that can help anyone's business. Last night, Kevin was there. Kevin shared two tips. One is to drive traffic, like launching a product. Google can be a good source, and how to organically rank on Google. Then definitely he was like, it is for the smart people, and people now have to think themselves. And then he shared another cool trick with brand analytics to research or find a product. So I would request you to share as well, because you have so many things in when it's you have so many cool things in mind, right? Do share one thing.
Oh wow! Now you that becomes a bit unprepared, dude, because I didn't know of this format of sharing secret tricks by the end of the session. I honestly don't. Yeah, I didn't prepare anything for this, but honestly, if you ask me right,
okay,
yeah,
so okay,
yeah,
for
never
you,
mind, never mind. Let me share something which I believe could be the most relevant thing. I mean, if you ask me, out of all things right now, what makes the biggest impact, my answer would be mindset. This is my magic bullet. To me, it's about the awareness of what is going on in my head. So, I mean, of course, there are like tricks and stuff, but if you want something really relevant, if you want something that like really for the long run is like brand building. You know, if you build your own brand in your mind, and if you become aware of how we think about our business, how we have these beliefs, like what we can, what we cannot do, and if we become aware of these things that are holding us back, and of our doubts and of our fears, and how if we put in this this intention and this effort to think along the lines of what we really want, to me that is the secret sauce. And it took me a long time to figure out like what's going on in my head, how it actually affects my life. But to make like a daily small step towards this awareness, what's actually going on and how my thoughts impact my reality, this is the best magic sauce I can offer right now.
Yeah, that's completely relatable. Actually, the mindset. Actually, it's all about mindset. If you have the
Yeah.
right mindset from day one, and I completely agree with you. It took ages to build a mindset actually, and for you, you have already said like it took you an years to find out this thing, and this is a that's really I would say a magic bullet, right? So thank you so much, Dano, for being here and sharing the ecom plan, which help businesses on like how what are the
I hope so, man.
stages. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much. It was pleasure having you. I
Same here.
hope to have another session with you along. Uh, like and anyone who has something like related to Dano services, they can always reach out to Dano website, which is Def Devices, and they can go with the ecom plan as well and start giving a quiz, so you people can come to know that how good you people are when it comes to ecom plan. Thank you so much, Dano. Thank
Yeah.
you for being
Thanks you
here.
guys for listening. Thanks for having me. And until next time.
Until next time, bye.
Terima